Words are very, very, very important. And words will impact your mind. And you hear the same word over and over again, that will become rooted in your mind. You better be sure it's a word you want rooted. You know, nobody goes out and plants certain types of plants because they're weeds. In Mother's backyard, I don't know what it was originally, some little kind of weed. We have a yard person. I guess she mowed around it. It was just one little bitty weed. Now it's about 8 by 6 foot. I mean, it's just everywhere. Now it's going to be a bigger deal. We could have pulled that weed up. Now it's a bigger deal because it's going to have some shoveling and some muscle and some equipment. Now behind Mother's kitchen window, I was there the other day looking for Daddy's clock. There's this plant that grows once a year, has this marvelous bloom, some kind of a wild lily. You can tell I'm not a technical person. I don't know plants. We've been waiting to find it. We're going to move it. But part of the year, it's just dormant. I mean, it's under there. It is under there somewhere. And I go by, and it's not up. So I went by, when I went by to get the clock, and that thing is up. I called Suzanne. It's up, it's up. She's actually my yard person. She said, well, is it blooming? I said, it has a little bitty bloom on it. She said, oh, we can't move it now. It's blooming. I think it's what we did last year. We didn't move it last year, and then when the bloom left, the plant disappeared. And so here we are. Lord, help us to remember. But all of this year, when we looked at that patch of dirt, there's nothing there, but there was something there because the root of this lily was there all of that time. And you have in your spirit the Holy Ghost of God who knows all things and brings all things to your remembrance. And the root of truth is in here and can come from here to here if you know what to accept, what to receive, and what to cast aside. I was at the vet late one night. Our dog decided to hemorrhage to death. I couldn't believe it. We have a kennel, and I went to the kennel. We don't have dogs anymore. I went to the kennel, and oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's obvious it won't wait till morning. So we went to why can't animals get in trouble 8 to 5? So we went to the emergency clinic. Fine doctor there. Very helpful. And as we were going in the door, coming out was a man carrying this dog, big dog, like a shepherd or something, really big. And the dog is draped over his arms. I mean, it just looks like he's out cold. His tongue's hanging out. He's so far gone he can't roll his tongue back into his mouth. And I said, what happened to your dog? And he said he got snake bit. Well, I'm going to tell you, that dog looked like he needed a stretcher and a crew. He said, oh, no, he's fine now. I'm looking, I thought, didn't look too fine, you know. He didn't look too fine. Now I have some choices here. This man made a choice. The vet said the dog is fine. He's gotten the adequate treatment. The medicines are in his system. He is going to be fine. There isn't any physical evidence. By sight, you would not know the dog is going to be fine. The man chose to reject the sight and to receive the word of the vet. One lady her cat had surgery, and she was telling me about it. It was very traumatic, and they said, pick your cat up in 2 hours. And so she went, but the cat was out of it like, you know. She was so stressed out about that, she called the house. Listen, there's only 2 places to get sympathy for your animals. You call me or Susan. There's no more sympathy, unless you're one of those. I can be very sympathetic. Had dogs for years, cats for years, birds. Been delivered. I'm glad about that. It was so traumatic for her. She kept looking. She kept calling. And the vet had told her the cat is fine, the surgery was successful, in a few hours he'll be on his feet. She could not receive that because she's looking at the trauma. So the next time, when that cat lived long upon the earth, and it did, she carried her next cat for surgery, and the vet said, pick this cat up in 2 hours. She said, I'll just tell you what, how long are you here today? He said, till 6. She said, I'll be here at 5:58. She's protecting her eyes. She's protecting her vision. She's protecting her heart. She's not going to let sight cause her to receive a thought. She received a thought. She looked at the cat. She received the thought. This man looked at his dog. He said, I'm not receiving that thought. I'm just taking the thought from the vet. You have some choices in life. You have some thoughts that you can receive that will do damage. You have some thoughts that need to be cast down. You have some thoughts that you can receive which are godly, which are going to shape you up, firm you up, and cause you to move farther and faster in life. And you have to determine, what kind of thought is this? Now, when the devil came to Eve, he said, hath God said? That's still the trick he plays today. He's playing with her mind. Do you remember? The war is in the mind. Do you remember what God said? Well, there isn't any evidence from chapter 2 that she had a first-hand acquaintance with what God had said. It said God said to Adam. So chances are she received her report from Adam. But the report she gave of what God said was not what God said. I don't know what happened. But in the transition, the thought of God, the command of God had been polluted. And then the devil pointed out to her, this tree will give you knowledge of good and evil. It'll make you like a god. Now, she's got to think about the command of God. She's got to think about the words of Satan. She has a choice here. She's in a crossroads. What does she think? What thought? The thought you think and meditate on is going to come planted in your mind, and it is going to be a help to your mind or a hindrance. And she's got a choice here.